It's your boy Bitcoin Trapper. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm going to be looking at SpaceChain because there's a lot of information that came out on SpaceChain and I find it to be very important. So for me, this is not about the views. It's just the information that I want to get out to people. I find that is very important. This is not a research. This is not a deep dive. This is just what I find that is important that I think everyone else should see and know about SpaceChain. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys remember that SpaceChain invested into Core Semiconductor. And I don't see a lot of news on SpaceChain. So I wanted to take the time to do this. It is very important. It is like a very massive news. And I'm really surprised that a lot of people is not talking about this. It's honestly, to me, it's crazy. Let's get into it. So SpaceChain Foundation invests in Core Semiconductor to produce open hardware platform for direct satellite to device communication. This is honestly, to me, is mind-blowing because in a video that I'm going to play, Jeff Garzik talk about giving out this for free. And you have to understand that services like this, nobody is giving out for free. And they're not like a company like not Tesla, SpaceX or Amazon company. This is a small little startup doing this. And if they're giving out this for free, it's going to be massive. This is a game changer. So SpaceChain Foundation today announced it has contacted and invested in Core Semiconductor, an innovator in providable, secure computing platform for all connected devices, to produce the world's first open source hardware platform capable of providing a downlink to mobile phones and small devices directly from satellite in orbit without the use of satellite dish to Earth or third-party network. I find this to be very important because it brings back the technology, blockchain, and peer-to-peer communication. Just like how we will have peer-to-peer payments, this is a peer-to-peer communication with no middleman. With security inherently built in, the technology is designed with the blockchain industry in mind to bring blockchain application to global user base. Core Semiconductor has designed the platform to be small enough to fit inside an handheld device. That would be a cell phone or probably a tablet. With a commodity price point, that platform is affordable and easy to deploy, making it perfect for any company or hobbyist to incorporate. The technology is designed for low bitrate application of around 1250 bytes per minute, making it ideal for verifying blockchain hashes and encrypted signatures. GPS is a low data rate protocol that has transformed the way we navigate the world and created over 400 billion US dollars in equity value, said Jeff Garzik, SpaceChain Foundation co-founder and CTO. We want to do the same for emerging digital economy, adding secure direct downlink and location capabilities. The device and robust multi-layer global decentralized infrastructure will bring blockchain to mass adoption. I'm not too sure how many people really understand the struggle of living in a rural area, because where I would love to have something like this. Because right now it is very hard for me to communicate with my family back home and my grandmother that lives in the countryside that don't have access to Wi-Fi or good phone signal. Because I remember back home when I was a kid and until this day, sometimes you call back home and when you get a phone call, we have to walk around and put our phone up in the sky to try and catch ourselves a connection. I'm not too sure how many people been through that. But anyways, as the hardware platform is open source, anyone can verify the security and correctness of the design themselves directly on GitHub. The public is encouraged to check out the code and test it out at GitHub, whatever. I find this to be honestly a game changer. And I'm the person that like to read and think outside the box and experiment, because there's only 5 projects in this space that I find mind-blowing and very important, and SpaceChain is definitely one of them. I could give you the 5 projects that I find amazing, and it would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Elastos, SingularityNet, and SpaceChain. Those are my top 5. Those are the projects that I find to be like outstanding and amazing, and that are going to be changing people's life. I want to invest into things that are going to change people's life, and I find this to be something very different than a lot of projects out there that's competing with Ethereum. This is not financial advice.
One of my one of the things I'm most excited about recently, SpaceChain invested in one of our vendors, which is a semiconductor company, Core Semiconductors, and we engaged them to create an open source GPS chip. Now, which they did. That's a little piece of hardware that's maybe a bit esoteric for some of the listeners. Why did we do that? That, to me, was a very big deal because this is one of the first open source chips that can go straight from a nano satellite to a mobile phone without needing a satellite dish. And so, again, for people in rural areas, to receive satellite internet, to receive satellite TV, you have to buy an expensive dish and an expensive receiver. And the technology that we just open source, we're giving it to the world for free, makes that possible, going straight from satellite to a mobile phone, just like your GPS locator works today. And so the promise of removing that expensive middleman and making internet even cheaper for rural areas is just empowering to us at SpaceChain and our mission. If you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to get connected to the internet, you only need a smartphone. That changes your entire life for an entire village, an entire region.
Okay, so I want to give you guys another thing to look at is Store4E. Oh, you guys definitely have to watch this video on Store4EO. I watched it. Understand that I'm not a technical guy and I'm not a space guy. I just like information. And when I watch this video, I find it like honestly mind-blowing. Like we're gonna be like a normal person's gonna have access to services like this. This is crazy. I don't know what Store4E exactly is, but to me, it's like the Apple Store, but for space and for space stuff like pictures of the Earth, observing the weather, and all these other stuff. That's what I think Store4 is. You could say send some SpaceChain token and request for some data on a certain area or a country or something like that. I think I don't know exactly what it is, but the way I look at it, the Store4E thing, I don't know why, but the Apple Store just pops up in my mind, but like an Apple Store for space stuff, and it looks like they'll be using SpaceChain because I guess SpaceChain probably invested into them also. I'm not 100%. I haven't looked deep into it. I don't even remember. Another thing that I find very important is nanoracks. I'm not too familiar with nanoracks, but I was looking over them briefly, and I find them to be very important because yesterday I was looking at this and I saw it was or a couple of days ago, I saw this, the airlock takes flight, and I was looking at this and it had something to do with SpaceX, and there was some news with on nanoracks also that they have done something with SpaceChain, and I'm thinking if nanoracks is doing something with SpaceX and SpaceChain is connected to nanoracks, I think that definitely SpaceChain is probably connected to SpaceX in some way. But nanoracks I find to be very interesting because it's like you need approval from nanoracks to go into space or something, or to get a flight into space, or I don't know, man. It's just I find nanoracks very important, and I think you guys should definitely keep an eye on them and put them on your radar. Also, there's 3 projects that Jeff Garzik mentioned in the video interview that he did. I'm going to leave the link in the description of that video. I find it to be very interesting that he mentioned these projects. This is Alba Orbital. Like, I don't know anything about them. I haven't even watched this video or nothing. I haven't read anything on them, but I'm gonna definitely take a look at them, and I think you guys should keep them on your radar also. Maybe you guys could find some information on them and what they're doing. Another project that was mentioned was Loft Orbital. So definitely take a look at them and see if you guys find any information and see if there's any connection or how, and see if they're working with SpaceChain. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that. Also, there was Astrobotic. He mentioned this also. And like I said, I like information. I really do like information. Every day I'm reading something on projects or something or what's going on in the space. I just love information, and when you mention something, I want to check it out because I have no idea about companies like this. I would never hear anything about companies like this if I didn't listen to that interview with Jeff Garzik. So definitely pay attention to these projects. I'm not going to go into them because I don't know anything about them. And don't forget to follow Jeff Garzik on Twitter. He always posts a lot of stuff, and I follow and like a lot of his tweets. And I want to give a shout out to Jeff Garzik. I've been interested. This guy has interested me for probably 3 years now. I've been watching him and looking at the stuff that he's doing and keeping up to date. He's very interesting, man. Ever since I heard that he was part of the Bitcoin core, like I'm like, okay, this is somebody that I need to pay attention to. So that's pretty much it. Also, check out Nick, and there was also another guy to check out is Zhang. He's a co-founder and CEO of SpaceChain. He's also very important, but he's a CEO of SpaceChain. This is somebody that's a must follow. But the guy that interests me the most, I gotta say, is Jeff Garzik. It's just his background is beyond what we could even know. Like honestly, it is. I find it to be very crazy. So that's all the little updates I have on SpaceChain at the moment. But definitely take a look at this. You guys have to see what's going on with SpaceChain and Core Semiconductor, because I find it to be very important, man. It honestly, this project is a project that just blows my mind, man. Like it's unbelievable. So what I'm gonna do right now, this is they pinned it, so it is easy for you to find. This is on Spotify, and it's also on YouTube. I'll leave the YouTube link to this video that you guys can sit down and watch this full video. I recommend this video to everybody that's in the SpaceChain community. Anyways, if you like what you hear, it's your boy Bitcoin Trapper. Just like and subscribe and share if you'd like. Anyways, that's all I have on SpaceChain for now. See you guys later.